What's up, everybody? This is Read the Bible with me. I'm Stan Jr., and today we're looking at chapter 3 of the book of Mark. I want to take a minute and thank all of my patrons who make this happen. If you'd like to become a patron and support what God is doing through this ministry, click the link in my description box. You can do that there, and you can buy a hoodie and a t-shirt and a crew neck or whatever you want to buy of the Read the Bible with me merchandise. Make sure you click the subscribe button as well. Come on. Why haven't you done that yet? Anyway, let's go to chapter 3 of the book of Mark. It says, "And again he entered the synagogue, and a man was there with a withered hand. And they watched Jesus to see whether he would heal him on the Sabbath, so that they might accuse him. And he said to the man with the withered hand, 'Come here.' And he said to them, 'Is it lawful on the Sabbath to do good or to do harm, to save life or to kill?' But they were silent. And he looked around at them with anger, and grieved at their hardness of heart, and said to the man, 'Stretch your hand out.' And he stretched it out, and the hand was restored. The Pharisees went out immediately, held counsel with the Herodians against him, how to destroy him. Jesus withdrew with his disciples to the sea, and a great crowd followed from Galilee and Judea and Jerusalem and Idumea, and from beyond the Jordan, and from Tyre and Sidon. When the great crowd heard all that he was doing, they came to him, and he told his disciples to have a boat ready for him because of the crowd, lest they crush him. For he had healed many, so that all who had diseases pressed around him to touch him. And whenever the unclean spirits saw him, they fell down before him and cried out, 'You are the Son of God.' And he strictly ordered them not to make him known. And he went up on the mountain and called to him those whom he desired. And they came to him. And he anointed 12, whom he also named apostles, so that they might be with him, and he might send them out to preach, and have authority to cast out demons. And appointed the 12, Simon, to whom he gave the name Peter, James the son of Zebedee, and John the brother of James, to whom he gave the names Boanerges, that is, sons of thunder. And Andrew, and Philip, and Bartholomew, and Matthew, and Thomas, and James the son of Alphaeus, and Thaddeus, and Simon the Zealot, and Judas Iscariot, who betrayed him. Then he went home, and the crowd gathered again, so that they could not even eat. And when his family heard it, they went out to seize him, for they were saying, 'He's out of his mind.'" And so verse 22, it says, "And the scribes who came down from Jerusalem were saying, 'He is possessed by Beelzebub, and by the prince of demons he casts out the demons.' And he called them to him and said to him in parables, 'How can Satan cast out Satan? If a kingdom is divided against itself, that kind of kingdom cannot stand. And if a house is divided against itself, that house will not be able to stand. And if Satan has risen up against himself and is divided, he cannot stand, but is coming to an end. But no one can enter a strong man's house and plunder his goods unless he first binds the strong man. Then indeed he may plunder his house. Truly I say to you, all sins will be forgiven the children of man, and whatever blasphemies they utter. Said, but whoever blasphemes against the Holy Spirit never has forgiveness, but is guilty of an eternal sin. For they were saying he has an unclean spirit." So he's saying, I'm not going to forgive sins against the Holy Spirit, calling good evil and evil works good. You cannot call the Holy Spirit evil and expect to be forgiven. Then, verse 31, "And his mother and his brothers came, and standing outside they sent to him and called him. And a crowd was sitting around him, and they said to him, 'Your mother and your brothers are outside, telling you to come on out, seeking you.' And he answered them, "Who are my mother and my brothers?" And looking around at the table who he sat around him, and he said, "Here are my mother, my brothers. For whoever does the will of God is my brother and sister and mother." So what Jesus is saying here is that you can't choose your relatives, but you can choose your family. Let me say that again. You can't choose your relatives, who you are blood connected to, but you can choose your family. Those that you love, those that you spend time with, those that you talk about God with. And Jesus said, my family members are only those who do the will of my Father. Those that are in God's will, I can call family members. Some people in your family don't want to talk about God, don't want to be around you, don't want to talk to you about the Lord. That could just be a relative. But your family are people that do the will of the Lord. And that was Mark chapter 3. Like I said again, I'm going to say it again, I can't do these videos and this content without my patrons. So I am indebted to my patrons. I'm so thankful. I've got a list of people here that I pray for every morning that keeps growing every day. And I want you to be a part of that list. Pray about becoming a patron. It really would help me do more Christian content. I really want to do a lot more different things. I think you said that right. I want to do a lot of different things with Christian content, answering some harder questions and stuff like that. But I have to have the support behind me so that when I go into those questions, I'm able to do that and not worry about what other people think, or that they're going to hinder the YouTube channel or block it or something like that, because I have people that are already giving that support me and support this ministry. So pray about becoming that. If you want to buy a hoodie or t-shirt, go to the link in the description box. Next time I see you, we'll be reading Mark chapter 4. And yeah, so God bless you, and I'll see you next time. Peace.